Hello, listeners. This is Janine
and Kristen
from Henrico Casa. You are listening to our podcast, Vigilant Voices. Living life every day. Hello, listeners, and happy spring. The sun is shining, the birds are chirping.
And our Home for Good playhouses are being built.
Yes, our favorite time of the year. But our annual Home for Good event has become a staple during RVA's springtime. And listener, if you haven't yet been a part of our Home for Good event, this is your year.
Especially since it's our 5th annual event.
Which we're just thrilled about. And we host Home for Good during April, which is Child Abuse Prevention Month, because just like with this podcast, we want to help our community know more about the challenges facing children and families to ensure that no child continues to face abuse, neglect, or trauma.
Right, and that's why Home for Good is just so incredibly important to us. It's really a visual reminder, like we're using these luxury playhouses that are on display at Short Pump Town Center and Libby Mill Library. But we're using those playhouses to be the reminder that every child deserves a carefree childhood without abuse or neglect.
Exactly. And we are so grateful to the local builders and their partners and design architects who really are the ones who create these luxury playhouses. Amazing. This year there will be 7 playhouses, all with the theme Enchanted Childhoods. To remind us that with CASA's intervention, we can write happier endings for children who have experienced abuse or neglect.
Right. And in addition to those builders, we're so incredibly thankful for the growing list of corporate sponsors who are supporting the event. They are truly companies that care.
Yes.
They just want to invest in the community where they do business and
Give
where
back.
they also live. Yeah. And so this year, we're especially grateful for 2 key sponsors, and they are QTS Data Centers and Liesfeld Contractors.
And today we are thrilled and so happy to have William Roberts, the Business Development Manager at Liesfeld Contractor, with us today. So William, welcome. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we're excited to talk to you. We were just saying we've been emailing for years, but it's nice to meet in person. And we've been emailing for years because we've had a long-standing partnership with Liesfeld. But this is, again, our first time meeting you in person, and we were hoping you could start out by just telling all of our listeners a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, my name is William Robertson. As you said, I'm the Business Development Manager at Liesfeld Contractor. I lead several business segments of our company. I also help represent our company in community efforts, which are a big deal for us.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which includes Home for Good,
which is great.
We're so thankful for.
Exactly.
Which I think is awesome. What got you into the field overall?
It just kind of fell into it actually through my brothers. Actually, at one point, all my brothers worked for the company. So.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, that's neat.
Yep.
Yeah, so all in the family, truly.
Exactly.
And so we understand that you've now been with Liesfeld for over 15 years, which is amazing. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
So, our listeners may see your logo and signage all over Richmond, but they may not know exactly what you do and what the company does. So could you just give us a quick rundown or understanding of Liesfeld and the work that you all do in the community?
Yes. So Liesfeld Contractor is a heavy civil construction company based in Rockville, Virginia. We do all the site work on various types of development projects, from clearing and grading and utilities, inside concrete and asphalt.
Yeah.
And we have 2 sister companies, Gillies Creek Industrial Recycling, which is in the east end of Henrico County, and we have Green Wing Mitigation. They do mitigation banking for developers.
I did not realize that. That's
I
so
didn't either.
interesting.
Yeah.
It is, yeah. Every time you impact some type of environmental feature, you have to offset it with a new something from an environmental bank.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So we build those in the area and throughout the state, and then we sell those credits.
That's great.
And over the last 54 years, the company's played a major role in construction and development in the Richmond area. Many of the portions of Short Pump that many of the listeners may use daily, and Innsbrook, and just countless developments from schools, churches, and so on.
I do feel like we see your logo on the construction
everywhere.
signs everywhere. But let's be real. I feel like Liesfeld's reach goes beyond the construction realm. Tell us about kind of how you prioritize community efforts and the initiatives that you do.
Yeah, it's a very big deal for the company and the Liesfeld family. It's a 100% local company. All of our employees are here. Our subcontractors our suppliers, and so on. And the Liesfeld family has been doing business in the Richmond area for over 150 years.
Wow.
They have had very close connections to Henrico County. Typically have been in Henrico County that entire time. Our community outreach efforts are through various groups in the community, such as CASA, such as the American Heart Association Richmond chapter, the Doorways Project downtown, the Henrico Education Foundation, and various groups such as that. And then we've also been in some important moments of the community. Our company donated the site work for the Arthur Ashe Monument, for the Richmond slave burial grounds. So supporting our community is a very important thing because all of our employees are here, their families go to schools here, all have children, that it's a very important effort for us.
Yeah,
Love that.
We love that. You're very ingrained in the area and the community, and it's kind of neat that you could go through Henrico County and point out, what you've been involved in.
Yeah.
There's been so many things over the years. So
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, what I think we hear as that heart for the community, and of course, William, our mutual connection, Paul Ronson, who's our board chair this year as well, I think is really what brought our two organizations and companies really, together for that very first Home for Good event in 2021. And Liesfeld rolled up, with these big, huge trucks. And I thought, oh my gosh, these are amazing big rigs. But moved those very first 3 playhouses for us. And that was just a key partner. But, from your perspective or from, Liesfeld's perspective, what has it been like for you all being a part of Home for Good and this event to support CASA?
Yeah, I think it's a very important event for the development and construction community. Our industries are kind of overlooked somewhat in community involvement, so I think it's very important to be able to show off their craft, the general contractors and the developers through support, the architects, engineers, and so on. And I think a lot of people in the community really enjoy seeing those houses in Shore Pump and at the library. That I think it's just a very unique event also in our community that you don't see many other places.
Yeah. We're proud of it. It's definitely been a nice platform for us to kind of focus on the positive and what we want childhood to be for children versus some of the darkness that we sometimes see. And I will say, to Janine's point, there's nothing cuter than seeing a bunch of adorable playhouses lined up on a Liesfeld big truck being delivered to Playhouse winners. So that's always been a kind of a key memory for us about the event. We truly just can't say enough how much we love this event and what it's become. So, William, we tend to, when we do podcasts like this, we like to find out more about people's vision. We find that when people and companies are community-minded, they tend to be working towards something greater, some sort of vision. For us at CASA, we're working towards a vision where every child has a safe home. But what about for you personally, or maybe for Liesfeld corporately? Like, what is a vision you have for our community?
It is kind of our core message at our company is that we're trying to build better infrastructure for our local community. So that translates to literal construction, but it also means supporting our community is a very important thing. So we have key metrics on our support each year that we do. We try to do volunteer efforts as well throughout.
That's right,
And we try to support people like Paul, who Paul shares the same mission a lot of people at the company share of being able to support organizations.
Yeah, and we know that you all are flexible with his time and volunteers' time, which is really encouraging to them when they do want to invest in a nonprofit or a community effort.
Totally.
Cool.
Love all of that.
Yeah, and before we go on, I too just want to pause and say you have a personal connection to CASA, we believe. Do you want to give a little shout out to anyone?
Yes, I would get in trouble if I did not. Yes, my wife's stepmother, Tanya May, she is part of the Summit County CASA in Ohio.
Awesome, yeah.
And it's one of the things when our support grew with Paul bringing an increased role this year. It was really easy to sell to the Liesfeld family, was sharing some of her stories of what your organization does for our community.
Yeah. Oh, we appreciate her so much. All advocates across the country, they do so much for children, and I love that you have a connection to one. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that with us. We were very excited to see that. And so our listeners know that we always leave everyone with a sort of simple call to action. And it's really something that we want to help think about what might any of us do individually to help bolster the well-being of children in our community. And so today, we want to encourage everyone to check out our Home for Good playhouses.
Yes.
They're on our website. We will certainly link in the show notes, and we've got some renderings and some pictures coming along, so we're excited.
And again, each of these playhouses is being built by local builders, and they have whole teams of partners, people donating materials and time and design work. Each one is a creative interpretation of this year's theme, Enchanted Childhoods.
Exactly. And, we choose themes each year, but we chose this theme because, the children we serve at CASA haven't all, lived these fairy tale childhoods like we hope. But with support and the intervention that our advocates provide, we are helping them write happier endings for, for their futures.
Right. And so the playhouses will be on display at Short Pump Town Center and Libby Mill Library from April 25th to May 11th, again, as a visual reminder that children deserve carefree childhoods without abuse or neglect. And right in front of those playhouses will be signs shouting out to our sponsors, including our key sponsor, again, Liesfeld. We're so thankful, again, William, for you being here and you being a part of it.
And, the other great thing is, you don't have to wait to see them.
Right.
They are fabulous to see in person, but our website, you can really see them come to life with those pictures of the original design and the renderings and then the actual structures. And so, think things like Elsa's Frozen Chalet,
cute. Yes.
or maybe a little shout out to some Harry Potter and Hagrid's hut. So they're very cute, and there's no doubt that they are going to be fabulous this year.
Yes, and the best part is that you, listener, could win one of the playhouses. Every $10 donation you make to Henrico Casa is an opportunity to win.
And so be sure to check them out, and each of those donations and the support are helping us give every child a safe, healthy home for good.
Thank you for listening to Vigilant Voices, Henrico Casa's podcast. We have a vision for all children to live in safe, healthy homes. You can help us make that happen. Tell a friend about our podcast and find us on social media.
I believe in the better days.